Welcome to Coding with Corgi. Today we're going to go through the basics of what Google Classroom might look like in your virtual distance learning classroom and how to do basics such as assigning work, grading work, and um, moving through different classrooms.
All right, let's get started. So as you see here, we've got no classroom. This is my personal Gmail account, and I want to create a classroom. So with creating a classroom, I'll write this is JoJo's classroom. Um, and this is where, or only in this, Miss Christina's classroom. And you can fill out the section, subject, and room as you want, but the main idea that we need here is you need the class name. And when we're creating that, you'll see that you can invite students to your class using this class code. So you might want to email this to your students to get them to join. Additionally, you could go to the People tab and invite students and teachers this way. Now this is pretty tedious, especially when you have a classroom of like 30 kids. So I would suggest doing this only for the stragglers who cannot go to the class code and fill it out themselves. So let's go ahead and add JoJo's Gmail to, or JoJo's Google account to this classroom. So if we go into Google Classroom here, one way of doing it is just scrolling down all the way until we see Google Classroom. I want to join a class. So if you're a student, you're going to join a class this way. Simply copy this class code and put it in here. Click join. Now, JoJo has joined this Google Classroom, Miss Christina's Google Classroom. And now I can create posts. And if I go to classwork, I can see the classwork. If I see people, JoJo can see all the teachers and all the students. Right now, he's the only student. That's why he only sees Christina as the teacher. Going back to the teacher point of view, I'm going to teach you about classwork, the classwork tab, and how to create any assignment. So usually most teachers, including myself, have topics or units, whatever you want to call it. So if you have a topic, I'll say unit 0 is introduction. And maybe another topic is unit 1, beginning comp sci. So you have all these units, and you can quickly scroll through these units by clicking 0 and clicking 1 here. You can assign the ordering by dragging and dropping. So say I want introduction to be at the top, or I want introduction to be, or unit 1 to be on top. That's how it goes. Google Classroom just does whatever topic you've created most recently is at the top. So say I want to create an assignment. I would create assignment unit 0.1 classroom intro. You can create instructions here. I personally create my instructions in my Google Doc. So you can attach a YouTube, a file like a PDF, a link, or a Google Drive thing. So if we go to My Drive, and let's see, I'll just pick this. These are some notes I've taken in September, apparently. But students can view the file because I don't want students to be editing this file. Students can edit this file. If I want students to edit one file altogether, then I would do this. Make a copy for each student. I personally don't use this one as much. If I had more classrooms and I wanted to assign the same thing to each of those classrooms, I would go ahead and click for whoever and all students, depending on my preferences. For now, I just want to create it for this class. So I'm going ahead and leaving that. I can change it to ungraded or change the points. I can change the due date. So if I want it for tomorrow, and make sure I want to do it in the classroom topic as I need it. And I can click assign. Additionally, I could save it as a draft if I'm not quite done with creating it, or I could schedule it for a later date. So maybe I can have it today at 11 a.m. Then I could schedule it for then. Personally, because I don't mind my students seeing the notes and stuff beforehand, I just assign it right away. From JoJo's point of view, he'll be able to, as JoJo's my student, JoJo will be able to go to classwork, and he'll be able to see unit 0, 0.1 introductions. He sees it's due tomorrow, and if you click view assignment, it'll go and you'll be able to click on this assignment. You would be able to file, make your own copy, and JoJo would be able to make his own copy. In this copy, he can edit as he likes. Once he's done with that, he needs to add or create. So he needs to add this Google Drive that he found, or sorry, he needs to add this Google Doc that he's created. And then he can mark as done. In addition to finding that Google Drive, if I unsubmit it as JoJo, you can also submit it by creating a new doc, making a link, making a file, all these other options to turn in the assignment. So if you don't have a Google Doc or you prefer something else, say you want a Google Slide, that's what you're going to do. So once I turn it in, the teacher, Miss Christina, will be able to go onto her Google Classroom, go onto the Classwork tab, and notice that there's someone here that's turned in their assignment. Obviously, there's only JoJo, so JoJo's going to be the one in here who has turned in his assignment. I can sort by status, first name, last name, status. So those who turned it in versus those who haven't turned it in, those who turned it in late versus those who turned it in on time versus those who still have it missing. Once I click on their name, I'll be able to see exactly what he did, and I'll see that, okay, he did a great job. So I'll give him 100 out of 100. If I want, I can make a private comment. You did great. Additionally, I might have a comment bank. So maybe I have a bunch that have the same error. So I might add to bank, like check error number 1 or check problem number 1 for error. Going back here to JoJo's account, I can also add a private comment. Copy this, simply paste it, and post this as well. Once I return it, student will be notified of all or any grades you've left. You can go through here and notice that return this, and it'll have a grayed out number of his grade. You can see all the stuff that I commented privately on his assignment. So if he wants to reply to me, I can have a private conversation with him about the errors of this. So now that I've talked to you about the assignments, I also want to talk to you about creating assignments creating materials. So here I can add or create materials according to what I have in my Google Drive. So Unit 0, Intro Textbook, or Readings. I can name it whatever. I can have a description of whatever, and make sure, as I want to keep it organized, to keep it in a topic. Let's see, I add a YouTube video about corgis. Again, these are all assignments that are going to be tailored towards you and your classroom. If I post it, I can schedule it, or I can save as draft. I simply want to post it. You'll see that this icon under the same topic is a little book with a little bookmark because it's a textbook or it's a materials rather than an assignment. Going from Jojo's point of view, as he is the sample student and he's fallen asleep right now. Oh, I kind of woke him up. He notices that this has been graded. His unit 0.1 intro has been graded. So if he views his assignment, he can see all the comments that I have as well as his grade. So Jojo right now is an A plus student, even though he's sleeping in my class. And he notices that the intro textbook reading is right here. So if he ever wants to open it up, boom.
So you want a corgi, huh? But owning a corgi may not.
He can view material, but there's no way to submit it. If he has a comment, he can put it in here. Now there are ways as a teacher to avoid having students comment, say if you don't trust your kids yet, or they're saying inappropriate things, and that's something you should look into. But generally, my classes, I've built a good relationship with these kiddos, and I've never really had to censor anything. So that is the beginnings of Google Classroom. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, Jojo and I are signing off. Bye!